Great day, great day, great day to the planet. Peace and love to the gods, to the goddesses, and to the angels. Honor to the elders. Honor as well to the generation, to the next generation to come. Peace and love, great day. We are here on April 14th, and we are celebrating another solar day, another born day with Lord Almighty. Peace and love, God.
Peace and love.
This is a continuance, or what we would say a part 2 build. We are building, we are celebrating, we are saluting, we are honoring, we are listening, we are observing, we are learning, and we are respecting. So great day to you all. Peace, God.
Peace and love.
Introduce, I know I introduced you, but God, you can double back on the introduction. You know what I'm saying, God?
I am that I am. Art, Lord Almighty. Peace and love to the peoples.
Peace, God. This is our second candle. The candles represent the intentions that we have for each other, for ourselves, for each other, and others. The first build, we spoke about the conglomerate and about the individual, the distinct entities, meaning like individuals, the different individuals, the different supreme beings, the different gods, the different goddesses. But we are all conglomerate. So we come in again to continue to build in the conglomerates and to share with you the different distinct entities. And so with the intentions, we lit the first candle, a white candle, and now we're gonna start with the red candle. The red candle, we're gonna lift the root chakra, we're gonna bring it up, because we're gonna light all the candles tonight, building with the God. We're gonna light them all up. We're gonna raise all the frequencies, all the chakras gonna raise up. We're gonna start from the root, sacral, all the way up. Peace and love. We also gonna sing a song to the ORISHAS. We're gonna send these vibrations out to the universe in honor of all the ancestors, and as well as a great day for the God here. Peace and love. For the north, for the east, for the south, for the west. Now we're gonna continue the vibrations as we continue to build. We just wanted an introduction. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Send that vibration out. God, you know what I mean? To you, the ORISHAS, God, that divinity within you for your journey. The oneness of your journey. For we had crossed past that 2003? 2001.
Yeah.
Not inside.
Yeah.
Inside,
in the
wow.
county.
2001.
From the county to the
Ooh, give it to me. 2001.
from the county to Mass.
All the way to Mansfield. 2002, 2003, 2004. Peace, God. Peace. God, I'm about to put us on some boiling water. So we're gonna have us another shot of that rum. We are toasting to the Captain Morgan rum, the spice rum. We have been selling the seas. We have been selling the oceans. So today we're gonna be actually tapping in to some more intelligence about the ocean and about the planet, the outer and the inner planet here with Lord Almighty. And so, as you see here on the Captain Morgans, as they have the ships for the voyages, and as we, the people, as we begin our voyage to rediscover self as well as the earth, the ocean, the inner and the outer. So we're gonna salute to that. All right, peace and love, and we're gonna also boil up some tea with some herbs. And we're gonna keep the fire blazed up. How you doing down there at school, bro?
Great.
Great. Beautiful day. Beautiful day today. Don't walk past that pull-up thing without turning it and doing some push-ups on it. Don't put your feet in no mud. Make sure. No, I don't do no push-ups with blue shoes on. Get some push-ups in today, all right? Nice out. Some hot tea on God. So I had brought out that whiteboard right there when we started to build, and I showed you that demonstration from a lecture, a live lecture that I had, just going over the Arctic in the Ice Age era when the mountain began to melt, the ice mountain, as we would say. Or the earth begin to melt. And begin to melt down, instead of going down the Atlantic Ocean, we crack the earth, we crank the globe by turning it the Pacific. And as we turned it the Pacific, we had got this demonstration. And so that was the demonstration from cracking the globe and turning it down to the Pacific instead of going the Atlantic way. And so right here, this area, what we're looking at is the actual Arctic area at the top of the globe. And as I bring that demonstration out, Lord Almighty, his spirit had drew up, his third eye had also drew up a word or a vision that he's seen before. And you can continue, let them know that vision. So I'm right here, just getting us a hot tea.
Okay, that word that I brought up was called AGARTHA, which is, to my understanding, referred to the inner earth or the inner world, right? And or hollow earth. But I was bringing to the brothers' awareness, from my understanding, and from my research, that picture there, it looked almost just like that word AGARTHA, which is supposed to be a legendary story of inner earth. And I was sharing with the brother that how the inner earth, from others who research the study, find it, that there's more than one way into inner earth, and that also the inner earth, that there is others down there or in there that live longer than we do on outer earth, and how also there's structures and there's seas or oceans even inside inner earth. But I was also, I shared with the brother, that they also have a sun, which may not be called the sun in inner earth, but it's something similar to a sun on outer earth, which made me bring up also how the sun on outer earth may just be an invention.
Peace, God.
From my research, I learned that the sun, even the word itself, was never mentioned in the Bible or nowhere other than, you may go as far as back as to Egypt or even in Greek terms or Roman terms. But the word itself refers to a disk, not actually a star in science terminology or whatever. And the sun also being a disk, along with the moon being a disk, and how also planets may just be also inventions and not or something made up or make-believe story, and not something that's absolute truth. I have found nowhere, besides in science or astronomy or astrology, that reflect on terms like planet and but there's nowhere else that you will even hear the word planet. Even in the Bible, they say the face of the earth. They don't say planet Earth. And I was just sharing that with the brother because it mind boggles me how no one has been able to answer my question when I asked who invented the sun or even the moon. I have not received a response or comment or even a gesture even on the question.
Peace, God. Peace, God. Peace, God. Peace, God. So he's sending that frequency out to the universe. So that God has pretty much poured out some some information and some descriptive facts that we see right here on the AGARTHA. And so the AGARTHA, as we go further, we pull up a picture of the AGARTHA. Oh wow, that's a song. Oh, but that's good enough for us. So that's the AGARTHA. And so we all see how similar the AGARTHA in the description of the globe that I drew, describing coming down the Pacific, starting at the Arctic and driving your way down, allowing the water flow to come down into the Pacific where the hot areas are at, the volcanic areas, the Ring of Fire, entering the Dragon, the Asian area. So this is similar, same description as the AGARTHA. The AGARTHA. In the AGARTHA, as the God was describing, is a description of the inner and outer world. So you would think that this description right here would describe the same as what I was describing you, which would be the Arctic, the top of the globe. But there's another description as an outer and an inner. So as the face and as the soul. So there's a face of the planet, face of the earth. And as the God said, he's still trying to figure out this word of plant it. All right, the plan et, plan et. He want to figure out plan et. All right, is the planet a plan? And are we figuring this plan out? Extraterrestrially, right? That's what the God want to know about the disk, the sun, and the moon. The symbolicness we know as the feminine, deities and energies. However, what we see here on Earth and what we feel the energy coming from, and as we see in China send an artificial sun up into the skies, that there's the greatest 100% possibilities of, other discs and the creation of man-made discs. And so we want to get back to the beginning. We want to know where or who, the time, or in history, or in any way of life, or any school of thought, the word planet and the time and date of the discovery of the sun and of the moon.
Exactly.
Peace, God.
Yes, from my understanding, there is a star behind the sun disk. They call Sirius. I would like to get serious about the subject.
Please, God, talk that. Let me say some more about that. You said the series?
Yes, the star behind the sun disk is more, if you do any research on the subject, the star is more illuminate that shines supposedly about 20 times brighter than the sun.
More illuminating than the sun.
Yeah, exactly. And it shines brighter than the sun.
Peace, God.
That's what, from the term that I come across speaks about the star Sirius. Sirius A and B, which is, maybe even a Sirius C they even mentioned, but Sirius, I believe is A, that's supposed to be more brighter than the sun. Exactly.
But we at the university, we know that a star is considered a planet as well. Considered as a planet.
Understood.
Considerably, right? So the power of that, these planets, knowing the power of us within these planets, the light, the illuminating light that is within you right now, that is bright, that is brighter than this artificial light that is lit up and plugged up. You right?
Just like this, like our shadow will say, speak volumes about our physical matter. Everyone has a shadow. Who's shadowing the sun? And you will see that the star Sirius is shadowing the sun.
Peace, God. Star Sirius.
Yes.
The shadow.
Yes.
Star Sirius is the shadow. I almost had a seat right there. Peace. Oh, yeah, salute. Salute again to your solar day.
And passing on though.
It's all one.
True. The big one.
Big boom.
The big
big
one.
bang.
The big one.
The big one.
Yes.
Peace.
All one.
Ah, yes. Peace. We got the candle burning. We already sent out nice vibration. We're gonna ring another one as we continue to break down the AGARTHA, or continue to dwelleth in that area, that outer realm and that inner realm of planet Kai, Africa, New America. What would be the name of this soul, this cipher of soul? What would you name this cipher of soul?
Kingdom and wisdom. Kingdom.
The dome.
Come. It's the wisdom and knowledge kingdom.
Peace, God. So run that name back one more time for the university.
Yeah, I would describe this cipher as being
this cipher. I was talking about the whole entire globe. Like, if we wouldn't call it the planet, what would we call this cipher of soul? That's what I call it, the globe, the cipher of soul. That's what I call it.
I mean, when I think of knowledge, I'm thinking about the father of all things in existence.
Peace.
Along with the mother of civilization.
Peace,
so I would say the mother in civilization. Kingdom. That's what I was, as I would define where we at.
Peace, God. So as we continue to build on the kingdom.
True.
And as cipher of soul.
Understood.
Peace, God. A cipher of soul, God. Because we all in.
I'm all in none.
We all in.
I'm all in none.
You know what I'm saying, God? We all in. Salute to you.
I'm here or I'm not. Either I'm here or I'm
Yeah.
not.
We all in the cipher of soul. Now us raising the vibrations, the chakras. Once again, we got the red candle burning. I don't know. Okay, that was the actual whiteboard that fell. But if you just take a look over there, we have the white candle burning. If you see that pink balloon, that was my daughter's celebration. It's all one celebration. We still celebrating once again the God's day, his solar day, born day, life and after, here and after. Peace and love, peace and love. So as we got that red candle burning, as we continue to raise the chakras to the highest of frequencies, that's the key. So, we just gradually keep growing, and the information, you know, and as you take a look at the crystals, you know, all these crystals have different, you know, some of them, it reaches out to the esotericness, you know, it has ET origins and things like that. And so information, the inner, as you were saying, the inner, with the conglomerate, or you said the interdependency. We were speaking about the interdependency on the last bill, you know, just knowing that we do have to have that inner communication with each other. You know, we have to connect, you know, and yeah, you know, but learning your true independency first. That's the key. So learning your true inner self first, having that intellect, right, of self.
Sure.
And now we are here to be able to conglomerate. So we are conglomerated today here at the GBF University with a God that through my journey has always inspired me, encouraged me, and always had planted, you know, a great seed of righteousness through this path of righteousness that we are not detouring from. And we will be continuing to bring forth the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and enter as we enter, because we want to enter the dragon. We want to enter that. We want to enter that fire state, right? Because we speaking of that sun disk. So we want to be just as fiery as that sun to discover, rediscover, right?
The present, the gift
of such, right?
So
Of that powerful element, you know, that we are dealing with here on, and as we coming into what, the day of what, Easter. Because the God, we still have to get into that building of Easter. It might not be today, but I'm working on it for tomorrow, right? Because I was going to get into that, right? And the Esther, the asteroid, and you know, just the significance of the Orishas, the significance of the sun, to symbolicness of the earth, the moon, the sun, and as we speaking today on,
they speak about the rising of the sun, and what I was trying to share with you is that
up and down.
the sun actually goes up and down.
Peace, God.
From the inner world to the outer world.
Peace, God. And so on the for the university, so did this one go up? No, we got to go the other way, but that's cool. We can see that. So what we're coming to in the university is the sun and how it may not be rotating because the earth is rotating. The sun is going up and down. So the fall, the rise, and the fall. Once again, the question is, where does it fall? It rises east, but where does it fall? And if it falls west or north or south, where does it fall? Where does it hide? Who hides it? What is it behind? Because we are searching and seeking, and it will come out. So today, here with Lord Almighty, and we are building on that. And so we got right here at the top of the globe, the Arctic. And as we uncovered, you know, the Arctic, the area of the Arctic, the description of it, and how it's laid out, and how it flows with water, and how land is almost completely enclosed by it. And with that, it is a perfectly and similar description of the AGARTHA. And that AGARTHA is also a description of the outer and inner world. And so if the sun is rising and falling, is it coming out of the inner world and falling back into the inner world? We are seeking, we're searching, we're looking for you, son. We're looking for you, Mayat. Mayat, we coming home, the mothership. You're the mothership. We are trying to get on. We trying to go home. We trying to catch that ride. We need that bus fit, we need that ticket. We trying to get on there, right? So we need to know where you're going, because we see you every day. We love you. all the energy, all the love, all the TLC, all the plants, all the life, flowers, fruits, vegetables. How you feed our children, our angels. And so you rise and you fall. And when you fall, we miss you because it's darkness, you know? And then it's time for rest. And I wonder, is there a place that is always light? But it can't be if you're always rising and falling.
Say knock, knock, knock. Who at the door?
Right? We knocking, right?
And we got, you know, to every story you got a believer, a true believer, a non-believer, and a make-believer. That's what I learned. To every story there's, you know, you got a believer, a non-believer, a true believer, and then a make-believer. Then we also got you know, man-made laws. We got natural laws. We got divine laws. And then we got eternal laws, laws that last forever.
Peace, God.
We ain't looking for the temporary or the relative truth. We looking for absolute truth.
Peace, God. We're looking for the absolute truth.
Something that would never change ever in life. And nobody's going to. Regardless of who they are or where they're from.
You just need a piece. We got a whole notebook, huh? How about that? Wow. All right. We have believers, non-believers, make believers,
And we got true believers.
and you have true believers.
Or non, yeah. We said it more.
Mm-hmm. Peace, God. And we're looking for the absolute truth.
Exactly.
That is unchangeable.
True.
Peace, God. That's what we seek in this life. We, the soul, will forever, as water, try to return back to its original source. It's a journey, and so we seek truth. We seek the true way to get back to our original source. So if you spilt your cup of water will drip its way and all the way, even if it's evaporated, you know, it's trying to get back to its original source. And so we seek that truth. Okay? It's a constant flow of seeking it, you know? And on the way of seeking it, we went through so many different schools of thoughts. We went through so many different directions, right? And we still travel. So that's why we're still on this ship. We building the arcs. The arcs is within. We're building it because if we build the ark within, we can't be drowned. We can't be destroyed by the storms to come through the wars, the spiritual wars, you know, and we can continue to be able to discover, you know, and be able to find land and be able to continue to grow. That's what we're here doing. So we continue to flow through all the schools of thoughts, right? Because we're looking for that absolute truth that is unchangeable, you know? And so many schools of thoughts have been on this journey, right? And we shall continue because we're gonna take all the schools of thoughts. You know, it's just like those crystals, those Dragon Balls, and put them together, you know? Because we have to unite, you know? We have to unite, not just United States. It's not about uniting the states. However, them states are states of mind. It is. So we may unite the states of mind, you know?
The Lord's will.
The states of thoughts.
Lord's will be done.
Peace, God. Peace. And that's the intentions here, you know, the conglomerates and coming together because there's so much, because there's always been so many different ways of life from people and the divisions as the earth cracked, you know, and separated, you know, things was divided, and so the knowledge was divided, the esotericness of it was divided, the history of it was divided, the knowledge, everything was just divided, and so we
they
just
call
want
it, they call that a pluribus unum.
a pluribus normis.
Like e pluribus unum, which is on the back of a dollar bill.
E pluribus, okay, peace.
And out of one many,
One world.
Out of one many, and out of many one.
Peace, God.
And that's what I learned about. It's a Latin word. It's not a Hebrew word.
Peace.
But e pluribus unum is out of many one.
Which they seek for that one world order, new world order.
All worlds, one world order, you would say.
And that's amazing that they speak of that, right? Because today we speak about, you know, the outer world and the inner world. So that's two worlds, right? So they have to actually be speaking of joining those worlds and controlling both of those worlds with the economy.
Exactly.
You know, because they already conquered that.
World.
Yeah. Right, God. Right? So it's like now, you know, the now that we're on that bill and when we're looking at the crystals, these come from the inner world.
Yeah, they would say them are jewels, but we know that real jewels is like love and
real jewels is love,
or unity, or
the actual, the action,
shelter, or
the action.
that's
the 12 jewels of action.
Yeah, the 12 jewels.
Peace, God.
Yeah.
But these they take from the inner world and they selling it back to us.
Yeah, stolen property.
So it's like business, right?
Buying stolen property.
RSP, receiving stolen property, right? And it's turned into a business. So now is that the offerings for the inner world, the business to the outer world? I don't know.
I call it entertainment, like a story, like I was saying, you got the readers. For every story you got, I call it the bedtime story. Something to rock us to sleep, you know what I'm saying? Something that sound good, but truth don't usually sound good though, but to make it sound good, you gotta have some believers, you gotta have some true believers, you gotta have some make believers, then you gotta have some non-believers. I mean, that's the other story, but
That's real.
it's all entertainment to me, like we was talking about, like interdependence, then you got entertainment. Yeah. And that's to tame some people, because in my mind it's a power struggle. It's a power-hungry people, power-hungry something.
So would you say that it's better to just do what you have to do and just, because it's like, all right, if one becomes conglomerate, it becomes more entertainment, right? To entertain, right? Instead of the inner quest, right? The inner quest of life and death. And then when that gets interrupted, and like that defeats the purpose, right? So one that lives and dies, like Malcolm X on the shirt, right? He was conglomerate, right? The nation. And then eventually he ended up taking what? You know what I mean? Taking his death on his own sole purpose and mission of what he, wanted to push forward, what his purpose was here. So we still remember that purpose.
I mean, we remember.
I take his purpose as, all right, knowing that if you under a conglomerate, they're gonna hold you to some things. Like you say, you're under the it was something you said you was under, right?
Yeah,
it's
the
like
amalgamated order of lordism, but the conglomerate is not taken away from.
But just saying, but it's still a conglomerate. So.
Yeah, it's still a conglomerate.
Right, that's why I spoke of those conglomerates as being more of the ORISHAS. Because you got the ORISHAS, they come together to help, the planet and those other planet, right? And everything of existence. So now the conglomerates, right? Now, the coming together can be what? Because Malcolm, he was what? A nation. He was part of the nation.
Non-cycle. That's not correct.
Oh, who?
He separated himself from the nation.
No, I'm saying in the beginning, he was part of who?
I mean, that's a story too, because
He never was official.
No, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying for every action there's a reaction, and there's consequences that come behind these.
But a conglomerate is more than one, right? And so he came together with others to get out a message, right, to the people, and it got out. However, he wanted to change the message. He wanted to add on to his build. You know, maybe not change the message, but add on to his build. Like, all right, so it's just like like me, for instance. Let me use self, right? Like, all right, if I take something from Atlanta's build, if I take something from the 5%ers, right? If I take something from, you know, some of the conscious guys, right? And I say, well, I want to add this onto my build, but they say, well, I know I have a purpose. I have a soul purpose, as we all do. So I figured my soul purpose out. I figured that significant jewel, that I pulled out the significant jewel that I have to give, right? That I was chosen to give. And that's that the black woman is Jesus Christ, the symbolicness, all right? The feminine deity. Now that's a build that I have to live and die about, right? That's my purpose. I found that. That's just what it is, right?
Okay,
now,
well, in response to what you just said, though, there is indirect and then there's direct consequences for every action.
That's what it is.
Now, I was even when I say
there's
that,
no right or wrong. We studying and we living and learning. It's just like if you in a lab, if you mix up the wrong shit, you just mix up the wrong shit, God. Come on, God, let's keep building. All right, so with that, understanding, we live and we learning, right? And we putting this stuff together. When I'm on the university, I let the university know, hey, yo, we growing together. That's why I sit in the desk. You get what I'm saying? Because we still gotta, you know what I mean? We still gotta listen too. Because every day things is changing.
Okay. And
so if every day
and listening, there, like I said, there's indirect and direct consequences for even listening.
Always, God.
We all have a choice of challenging.
Remember words, God. Remember words. So the more intellect that we are, it takes away from our spirit. I want us to know that here at the university, I spent 5 years, half and half, but most 5 years I spent without using knowledge, just using my spirit. And I ain't saying, well, what happened through those 5 years, right? I survived hell, okay? I survived hell those 5 years, right? And then I had to pick up the knowledge and have to move with the knowledge now, okay? That's the key, and that's what we're working with. But we cannot let the intellect overpower, meaning words that are spells, those same words that that divided us, okay? And that's language, all right? That's the Babel, right? The Babel. So those are the things so with the spirit of us getting to the points, that's all we want to do is reach the degrees. So now that we up there in the higher learnings, we ain't talking low level shit, low vibrational. We on a higher level. So when we come together, we want to what? Make sure that all that flows, because one could be what? Turned down. It could be what? Put out. Fire could be put out. You see what I'm saying? So we don't ever want to put no fire out, because that's how they want it. And we'll never figure out the AGARTHA. We'll never figure out the inner worlds because of words. We're there now. They can't stop. No word can break that. We already in the me and you, we in the middle of the earth right now. Right now. You know what I'm saying? We on the inner world, building. So it's just like they can't take us out of there. No words can take us out of there, because all the words are spells. Because we was never supposed to find our way there. But we found our way there. Now we're in there. So the only motherfuckers that can get us out is us. By words.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we always got to be careful about the words we use, and just knowing that we're there, to have knowledge that, yo, I come so far from the trenches. Think about where we're coming from. The bottom of hell, like, you know what I mean, the fire, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, the crack stems and the needles and, you know what I'm saying, the drug pushing, the prostitutes. And that's a bill we got to get to for Easter, because that's what Easter is all about, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's boiling down to. You know,
Yeah.
cracking that egg, finding that egg. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I may even be, you know, there will be consequences. I expect consequences even for my thought about Easter when it comes to Jesus itself. I had made a comment
Peace.
about, you know, someone asked, who is Jesus? And in my mind, from my, you know, studying, he's not only a prostitute, but also a pimp.
Peace.
A prostitute to many and a
Pimp
pimp
to
to
many.
few.
Peace. It's been that way in the mind, pimping their own mind.
I mean, I would say
Pimping the
people,
mind
my
of the
people.
people.
Yeah, I would say my mind.
The church has been pimping the mind of the people with the word, with the spell. Jesus. It's the black woman. All the black women is in church, in the front row. You know what I'm saying? Then they carry young brothers down the aisle like me. I walk down there crying and got on my knees and repent and baptism and all that, right? I did that 3 times. I say, damn, I can't do this on 4. You know what I'm saying? It's a charm right here. The third time's a charm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They was pimping, they pimping the story. I ain't saying they actually pimping him.
They're pimping the story.
They pimping the story because, you know, the story even get, you know, even deeper if you go into it, that even the story was made.
If they ever try to go deeper, they never try to go deeper.
Yeah, the story went deeper where someone actually writ the New Testament. It was written in like it took them 70 years. Someone said it took them 70 years to actually write the New Testament. And this is during the Hebrew and Roman war that doesn't be spoke about as often, but there was a war during this time that the New Testament was actually published. The first written, you know what I'm saying, New Testament was published by someone who claims that that story even is real. You know what I'm saying? He concocted the story from the 12 tribes and made the 12 disciples. I mean, it come from the old, and then he made, that's why also, you know, who authorized the New Testament? Another man. But if you understand the story of the Old Testament, Most High gave Moses authority. It came from, you know, it's written that his authority came from the Most High. But if you read the New Testament, they would say, you know, King James authorization, or other, you know, others authorized this book. And these is men. This ain't come from a deity or even a spirit, or it came from actually another man. And so when you look into even who wrote this story, or
when we say the word man right now, right?
you know,
When we as a people, when we say the word man, because I was watching something, and it was a man, black man. So let me ask the question first. The word man. Okay. Remember, once again, the spells are words. I mean, words are spells.
Even the word itself, I have a definition for the word man.
So the word man.
Yes.
Would you take the spirit out of that word?
Yes. Because man is mind, intelligence, and intellect. From my understanding, or from what I gathered, that man himself, you know, is a mind, something that like plants, animals, and minerals don't have. Something that can record information.
Peace.
And, you know, decode that information.
Peace, God.
So a man is, from my understanding, is mind. Man is mind. Intelligence and intellect.
Peace.
It has nothing to do with a soul, or it has nothing to do with a spirit. It has nothing to do with his will. It just has more to do with how he able to decode information before an animal or a plant or a mineral.
Peace.
That's why they call it the human kingdom. But even if you break the word human down, human shade, shaded man. Hue, you know, it means shade.
Peace. The human.
True. Shaded man.
The hue is for color.
shady man. It's a shade.
Chakras. Shaka. I gotta get into that Shaka Zulu bill.
Yeah, well, I got into it a little bit, and you know, like we was talking about women being more, you know, powerful than actual, you know, masculinity
Truth.
of the man. You know, feminine, the woman.
Would
it was the actual
I ain't
tribe
gonna say,
that was more
I ain't gonna say that because that's strong. You know that's deep. That for the man to admit, for the strong man to admit, that's strong. That's strong for a man to admit.
Well, I play chess. It's not that hard when
Right.
I noticed that the queen moves
More powerful.
I mean, she moves more freely across the
That's
board.
deep. We used to always play chess too.
Exactly. And she moves more, you know, freely across the board than the actual king himself.
Used to whoop your ass in chess. No, we always battle. We always battle.
Yeah, you know, win. That's all
It's
I
all,
know.
yeah.
Learn from blessing or lesson.
All the way. Chess and a woman. Not to forget the God, the feminine entity. Teaching how to beat. You know, teaching your opponent how to beat you. Teaching your opponent how to play. Teaching your opponent how to move. You know, what the pieces are for. The significance of the pieces. In life, I found myself as Phillip, the love, the heart, right? Teaching the brave heart, right? Teaching other brave hearts how to win on this chessboard. You know, how to be great thinkers. You know, now the thing about the thought and the feminine and what we were speaking of, the mind and men, right? And so the men can be the mind, we can be considerably the mind. Now the water, the fluid, that's the spirit. And we have more spirit than mind, right?
Yeah,
so yeah, we have more water. We have more water than anything. And that water represents that Holy Spirit, which comes from the mother, the mantra. And so we balance that. You know, so on the chessboard, it's teaching one, you know, how the queen moves, you know, the importance of the whole board and how it flows with the queen, you know what I'm saying? But the queen actually protects, you know, the mind. The spirit protects the mind as well, and the mind protects the spirit. See what I'm saying? And as well as the whole body, which is the child wants the mind, the plan, comes up with the plan, the planet, the plan, right? With the spirit to create the body. And that's the way that we bring forth the powers of the Most High God and the Most High Goddess, right? Is through the creation. So that's when we have child, that's infinite knowledge. That's infinite confirmation that we are the creators and the creatresses of this, you know, existence.
And so many, and the sum of all that, I would say, art. You know what I'm saying? It's all art. Like before the words, we used to draw signs, symbols, and colors. You know, before we actually, you know, vocalized our words, we
Signs,
drew
symbols, and colors.
pictures. We drew pictures.
Peace, God.
That, you know, that would be the picture or that you would want somebody to see. We using actually these words to draw a picture right now to help each other see what we, you know, what we want each other to see. But you know, if you know, a picture, one picture says 1,000 words. One word may just mean more than 2 or 3 meanings, but a picture says 1,000 words.
Peace, God.
I would rather us draw pictures all day long like you just did. I mean, that speaks volumes because it say more than one, just few things. It say a lot of things.
Peace. Real one. I was just taking a look at this actual picture, and just knowing that it is more than the 16 cardinal points.
Yeah.
You know, as we taking a look right here at this symbolic picture of the sun, and it represents all the radiance that it sends out on the earth. And as we see, north, you know, south, right? East, west, right? And all the other points, north, right? North, east, right? All of that. North, east, and you know, things like that. And that, as it comes around the whole globe, as it gives light, as it feeds off, all the radiance hits all the points of the earth. So as we count, let's go to the top again. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You know, so they show us 24 points in this picture, in this symbolic picture. So that's something good to understand when we represent the 12 on the clock, you know, and how we may get the 12 on the clock. And this is half of what that is. I mean, you know, that 12 and 12 is 24. So even if we're looking on the outer and inner, so if we're looking in the inner world and the outer world, and we bring them all together,
it's from different angles.
Yeah,
It's a view from different angles, basically, you know.
The symbolicness, yeah, the inner world and the outer world. So if we're looking at existence, to exist, or like to exit, exist, it's like the same word of exit. So an enter, if you got an exit, you have an enter. If you got an exit, that's like an outer. So that's the outer space, the existence, which you say we may be in the outer, right? Yeah. Because the inner is within the earth. So that inner world, that inner existence. So the inner existence within here, it's the inner existence. So if we're looking at this as the topic, the Arctic or the Agartha as well, the symbolicness of the sun, you will see that there's an inner, and inside this inner, there's more symbolicness in here, right? There's a line of connection inside this other smaller sun that holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points, which is the 16 cardinals that is within. So this is a very symbolic picture of the inner and outer world, and the inner energy and the outer energy that we are experiencing.
Garden of Eden with the tree of life being in the middle.
Peace, God. Tree of life being right in the middle, the representation of what it's feeding. The feeding of us, knowing that that's mama, that's the mother. You know, that energy and the symbolicness of it, knowing that that's mama feeding us. I mean, it's deep.
Yeah, the womb of the earth, like, you know, it's the womb, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm. And that tree, everything that's solid represents the masculine. You know, so a solid mind would be that man, that strong black man. You know, standing on his square, free from all devils. You know, the solidness of, you know, the root of a tree. You know what I'm saying? Like the mountains. You know, solidness, rock. You know, that compound, that matter form of being solid, coming from that what? That liquid state. Or even if we just want to start from the plasma energy state. You know what I'm saying? So the balances, put those balances together. The symbolicness. Liquid being filled with that spirit, being filled with that liquid. You know? So
the spirit of, like you saying,
right.
The spirit being filled with the spirit.
That energy, yeah. They're coming together, that helium, right? Because the helium is what blows things up, right? So it's filled, but it's solid, like hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not liquid, right? But if we break down some helium, I'm pretty sure it might have still some balance in that motherfucker too. You hear me? As we keep breaking all that, you know, these compounds and elements down, right? So to know that when it comes together with the liquidness to create that electricity, that spark of life, You know what I'm saying? Like that spark when you want to get your car started. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for that crate. You got your fluids. You know what I'm saying? Everything, boom, you're looking for that spark. So that's that masculine, that feminine coming together to create that life. You know what I'm saying? So now you got that energy, which is that spirit. So now that spirit is being filled with now what? Mama's fluid.
The will.
Yeah, from her milk of life. So now that plan that was from the mind, you know what I mean, to come together, right, to create the body. You know, so you know the mind is the plan. You know, the spirit and the mind come together to create that body. So the man and the woman come together, the Holy Spirit, that woman, because she filled with water and she releases it monthly in and out. That's Black Jesus, you know what I'm saying? So the Lord, Jesus Christ, she lets that out. So when you come together with the Lord and create, now the
Lord's will.
Yeah, the Lord's will, peace God. Now the Lord fills the child up with the will, you say, right? The milk of life. Now the body is being formed. The solidness, right? Because it already has what? God's breath of life. It already has your breath of life to become solid. You know, solid, yeah. The bone structure, the solidness, you know, God body, right? To create God body. Now what? All that fluid, the milk of life, is coming to its completion. It's coming through its transitioning and transformations. So now that's the physical, right? So the mind and the spirit created the physical. You know what I'm saying? And then, but we still gotta go back into the what? To the energy again.
We're gonna return back to the essence. You know what I'm saying? Where we come from, for sure.
Yeah, but we gotta. It's like we gotta feed it. We feed. It's like still being fed the will. You know. So we have been lacking. We have
been distracted,
malnourished from the will, from mother's milk.
A deficiency.
Listen what I'm telling you, brother. God. And that's what I'm saying about this universe and the substitution of us and how we've been substituted, right? As if we don't exist. Our powers, our life force, like we're full of waste. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's why we start saying, man, that brother full of shit, right? So the fact that we have been put under a spell, distracted, we have been ignorant to the facts, right? That we constantly see that the child comes into this world and goes straight to the milk of life on the bosom. And we all was there and we all see the detachment. We watch the detachment. So how long do the mother keeps the infant, the infinity, the angelic life on the bosom before she pushes the angel away to a bottle of something or a fruit or a snack of something and a milk of something, and it's pushed. Now we watch how we was pushed away. We might not remember, but now it reminds us on how, damn, that's how it goes. Because now if we have more than one child and we have 5 children and we watch how each one was pushed away from the bosom, right? One may have been on there for 3 years. One of my child was on there for 3 years, right? And I'm like, wow, this was the rodeo, this was the one, like, strong. So it shows us, So it's like, to ignore that, I can't ignore that. I'm watching it like if I'm a scientist.
True, that was up. That's something I seen the same thing, but
yeah,
what I seen was that as far as when reflect about where we come in at, I see we come in at it as in born into something that others was beat or blessed in. We born into this matter that we talk, we discussing now, but some was blessed in the topic and some was beat in the topic, like a gang, you know what I'm saying? Some was blessed in, beat in, we born in. We actually born into this matter where we up against not knowing how to supplement ourselves from being deficient in anything. I mean, I wouldn't want, you know, to be deficient in anything or lacking in anything. But we become deficient. Obviously, we was born into a situation, you know what I'm saying, where we recovering right now.
To be a witness, to
Yeah.
watch mother's milk, right? Watching mother's milk fill us up, making our bones strong, the development of our mind, right? And to see the detachment and know that we're left to this mind of the world.
Yeah,
And to be fed off of it, you know.
that's the effects from them being, or their grandmother was beat in, and our mother was blessed in, and here we born in. It's steps in the grid. It's just, everybody don't come into where we at right now in the same light, but we got to deal with those that was blessed in and those that was beat in, to where they like, man, you know, I ain't going no other direction. I don't want to get beat no more.
We gotta start born in a man like
And then
this.
some feel like they thankful to be in the situation, and here we is like, shit, I don't want to get beat or blessed in. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that's the way, period. You know what I'm saying? We're going the wrong way.
And then some don't want to be born in no more.
That's where we at with it.
Yeah.
We like, we don't want to born no
Don't
more
want to
children
give life. Don't want to give
get
no
life
life
at all, even into the situation.
But me personally, God, I do know it's a war, and we have to have no warriors. So that know that what the angels is for, and to know that the more pure that we get, the more that we refine self, right? Power of refinement, right?
Yeah.
And it comes through the cleansing, all right? The cleansing of the body, the cleansing of the mind, right? To allow that spirit to dwell within the temple of God, right?
So
or the goddess.
clean
Now,
vessel.
right.
Yeah.
Now when we creating life, now the infants, the angels, because now it goes back to the bosom, and the bosom is already what? Powerful. And if the goddess is more cleansing, more power, you know, pure and pure, the more and more. So now your child is more pure. Your daughters, your waters. See, daughters is waters. You get me? Daughters is nothing but waters to the earth. And so that's why this Easter we're gonna have that build, and we're gonna break down what they've been doing to our daughters, the waters. Prostituting them, you know what I'm saying? Continually be getting fed off of them. They getting all their light, all their energy, because water is also light. So when we speak of the sun being symbolic to the feminine, to fluidity, because water is also light. You know what I'm saying? So they taking our light away. You know what I mean? So we got to get back to the light. And that's what we're doing here today, like, and watching the daughters transitioning. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because they go into their stages, and if you teaching them who they are, then they can understand these things better. That's sacrifice. They got to deal with that. Imagine you have to bleed out. Gee, you got to run to the bathroom right now because you're bleeding. I mean, I ain't mean to put you in that. I'm sorry.
No,
Let me
I'm
take
saying
you out. I'm just saying.
life, blood in, blood out.
Blood in, blood out, God, for
Yeah,
sure.
no, I mean, life for life.
Blood in, blood out, God. But you know, that's what they dealing with, you know. And so we at the university, we salute them and we raise them up, and we on a quest, and we continue to seek and not and ask, and you know, and we is the gods, yes, you know, the universal gods, you know, we universal builders, right? And so we're gonna continue to build, and we're gonna get that esoteric information for her, because she is empowered. She's always been empowered because she is power. You know what I'm saying? She is that power, God, and we connected, because we that mind, man, right? We connected to that power. That's what, that flow, because the fluid, right? You know, it's just like when, you know, through sex, and you know, as we putting that fluid in the mind together, right? And then boom, to that orgasm, right? To create that life. You know, that's amazing, and that's the same feeling from learning. You know, when you're learning more esoteric information, you know things are coming from inside of you. You know what I'm saying? That's love. Like, you pull something from out of you, that's love. Because you know, they can't pull it out of you. Like, they can't pull your semen out of you. They can't pull your love out of you. You can't just pull that soul out of you. You have to think of something sexual, or you have to be in a sexual frequency, your lower root chakra. So that's why they try to keep us in our lower root. That's why we burn it down that what? That red candle. You see what I'm saying? Because they want to keep us at that lower root. Now we ain't saying ain't nothing wrong with it because that's how we create life. But it's more than life than just being at that lower root.
True.
That's where they keep us at: sex, money, drugs. You know, they call them, you know, the B's and the H's, you know, the dishonor. We in the university, we gotta continue to lift them up, and we even when we come down to their root, right, and when we harmonize it on the music and things like that, we just let them know that we are connected. You know, we are very vibrant. You know, and we connected to the soul, to the spirit. So, you know, but we fire. You know, so we hot, we lit. You know, and it's war, but it's like we can sing through it. You know, we can. It's like African. You know, tribal. But we ain't experienced it here. But we gotta get back there to our roots, our parts. You know, seeing crafts, creating, getting back to the essence. You know, we can't let the spell, and the biggest spell is the what? The dollar. That is the biggest spell because everybody wants money. Like, all right. So once again, if Jesus was here, right, speaking, let's just say theoretically, the coming, right, and say this is specifically for the Christians. All right, we're gonna put this out here specifically for the Christians and no one else, right? All right, but just say it's for the whole planet if they wanted to join. But let's just say the tickets were sold out for you to see Jesus. How would you feel about that, right? You know, if you was a Christian. So it's like, wow, it was a show. I had to buy the ticket. You see what I'm saying?
I mean,
like, no.
I know exactly what you're saying because I say the same thing.
I just gotta give you that because
my response to that is that why would you want to be in somebody's house when the Lord come anyway? Because the Lord want to find you in your house.
Peace, God.
Why you in somebody else's house? And you ain't even ready for him when he come because you in somebody else's house.
And most importantly, it's the notation to know that there's no value to this essence. There's no value to this journey. This journey is priceless. So if there's gods and goddesses on this earth, there's no value. There's no way you can pay for me. I'm free to you.
Exactly. That's where what's mine is yours, and yours is mine. It's like
but you understand what I'm saying though? So
no, it's like what's mine is yours and yours.
But just imagine that. Imagine I'm God, right?
Yes.
I got a show.
Yes.
And the tickets are sold out. Wow. Just imagine that. Now that's gonna make you want what? Some money. Cause you what?
Want to get in that?
You like cause you ain't have enough money at first, and there was a few tickets left. But what? Now the tickets sold out. You ain't had the money. So now you thinking about money. So we don't want our nation, our people thinking about money. That's what I'm talking about. Right here.
And that's
we gotta break that dollar bill spell.
And my response to that, that's when your problems become my problems and my problems become your problem. E-casa, me-casa. It's like ain't nothing mine, ain't nothing yours. It's like
because it's all mantras.
What's mine is yours.
It's all mantras. You heard me? It's all mantras. You hear me? That's the mothers. It's all mamas. So you know how we is with mama. Nigga, mama left that for us. Mama, yeah, when we brothers, right? We brothers and sisters, so this mama. So at the end of the day, if mama left a few dollars, if mama left some cereal, mama left some food, whatever it was, right? A blanket, anything, shirt, whatever, some drawers, socks, whatever it is, mama like, hey. So that's how it is. That mi casa su casa, y casa su casa. So that's the plan, that's the earth, that's what we on. So now we understand all we need is the earth and the natural resources that was already given to us by the Most High God, guys.
Put the money away. I'm ready to walk on the money, man.
God, man.
Put the shoes on. Put the shoes on.
Man, God, like what? Like God, like
we supposed to be walking on gold, man. We don't supposed to put it in our pocket or put it on our neck. It's gonna hold us down.
God.
Why can't we walk on it barefoot?
Real one, God.
Gold for real.
I know. The gold, everything, the crystal, everything. That's why I kept telling my son. I said, we don't need none of this. I say, it needs us. It needs for us to reconnect back with it. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need the crystals to connect. The crystals need us to reconnect back with it. You get what I'm saying? The earth need us to reconnect back with the earth. You get what I'm saying? So the earth, the black woman.
I think the earth is not getting enough attention because we in this house right now.
The feminine energy, the woman, that's true. The feminine, the woman energy needs us. You hear me? Like, and you gotta understand what I mean. Needs us. I mean, really needs us. Yeah, we do.
Like I said, no, that's what I'm saying. When I say that, if it weren't for this house, we'll be tending to the earth. Or like
that's real.
Like,
you know, we out there. It's no shit. We out there.
Yeah, this is
a bird house.
Yeah, you dig?
What do you call
a nest? You know what I'm saying?
God, I swear, you know, because we giants, right? We're supposed to be giants. So it's like, this is a birdhouse. You know how you would have a birdhouse and, you know, the little windows and shit, you know, little.
Yeah, it's a nest. That's where the,
you know, that's how much they minimize the mind.
Reproducing that.
That's how much they minimize the mind, body, and the body of the man. But see, that's the thing about the spirit. They can't get the spirit out of you. You have to ejaculate the spirit out of you. That's that semen. Or you have to be in a sexual. So now, since they couldn't ejaculate it out of you, they personally, the only way they ejaculate out of you personally was to be a homo. So now that's why the whole world on some homosexual shit. You hear me? But that goes all the way back into what? The whole what? Easter, the pache, all that shit. You feel me?
But that even Easter raped you by it forced its way into your life. You wouldn't even know nothing about no Easter if they didn't rape you with the word. They, in my mind, it's like an artist, you know, a musical artist, and you know, they know you're gonna turn on the TV or radio, and it's Locke said it best. When I heard him say it's called raping new records. I'm gonna be in your mama house. I'm gonna be in your daughter house. I'm gonna be all up in there. It's called raping new records. I'm gonna be raping your ears, forcing you to hear what I got to say.
That's real.
In my mind, they forced us to hear what they got to say when they put us in their public schools and they put us in their institutions and they put us in their judicial system. They raping us. Just like they raped the land. Force themselves to say that this is mine instead of it being ours.
God, they
power hungry.
God, I'm one of the kids that really remember about being God, because I used to climb the trees.
Me too.
I used to climb the tree, get on the roofs, jump from roof to roof, you know. And so being in the yards, backyards, fields, all of that, right?
Man.
I was familiar with the berries and the grapevines, you hear me, and all of the fruit trees. So what's amazing to me is that the shit is gone.
Man, bro.
Nowhere to be. God, it's like they like, this my planet. I'm stripping this shit.
Breaking new records,
and I'm gonna put this shit in the motherfucking grocery stores.
Man.
And make them dependent.
Man. Right.
So that's the dependency. And I'm like, God, like that touched me like my soul child. It touched my soul child. It touched my soul child, God, that I can't go out there. You feel me? And see that, because
that's supposed to be the 10% that's supposed to go to the people that's hungry. You know, the fruit that's the left off the vine tree. You don't supposed to
think about the animals, God.
That's what I'm saying.
Animals, God.
That's supposed to be the 10%.
What the fuck are they doing?
That's supposed to be the tithes.
They actually doing to the deers.
That's supposed to be the actual tithes, because they were saying, even in the Bible, that the tithes will be the fruits that's left on the first year. Or the 7th year, or the first year, supposed to be
for the
10%. No, go to God, and it was basically to the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give your 10% to the Most High. It's supposed to be like an offering.
Yeah, for the animals and everything.
Even the hungry, the people.
And then you get yours the next season.
You supposed to get yours the 7th year. Yeah. You don't even supposed to work, and then you supposed to eat off your harvest the 7th year.
That's some other shit, some spell shit. You hear me?
That's what it's written in Leviticus.
Oh, peace, God. I already know. I read that shit before.
Yeah. But
That's some crazy
that sound more beautiful and
Now,
prominent than.
now at the end of the day, a
Yeah.
percentage, right?
Yeah.
Now I can't just imagine just going. You just give it without reaping. You know what I'm saying? What you sow. You get what I'm saying? So, as far as like when you grow, and you know you got a little something that go to the herb, you got a little something that go to the animals. Everybody get their little piece. You feel me? Then you got something that you go ahead. You know how family
Like I said,
family
10%,
come stop.
It's supposed to be the 10% from your crop.
When we had the guard, my uncle used to come stop, get his little shit. You feel me? And it's cool. You know, and that's so you got your balance right there. You know what I mean? And then like the whole thing of business, right, is knowing that some things may grow better in certain areas, right? And now, if in our area, we may have better tomatoes, but you may have better onions, we can trade tomato for onion, but there should be no exchange for money.
Yeah, that's why that's supposed to be in the barter and trade system. Where
Why
you
not?
a service, barter means service to service.
Yeah, but they spelled that
Trade.
word. That should have been a more African diasporic word, and I gotta find that word.
What, barter?
Yeah.
Barter is a service for service. And
Right.
then you got trade. You got trade product for product or for another
Right,
product.
right. I'm
And then
into
you
it,
got
you
the
know,
barter, a service for a
You know,
service.
business and management, you know what I mean?
I dig it.
Economics,
Yeah.
you know, the economic way of living.
I dig it. I dig
You know what
it.
I'm saying? But you know,
Yeah, but that's where I'm at. Where I call myself not ever working again in life after I learned that, you know, I'd rather serve. I learned the definition between the word work and service.
now I got CDL license, right, guys?
Okay.
Now, God, I have not worked since shit 2020. Yeah, 2019, God. That was the end of 2019, December.
Yeah, I've been working since like 2010.
Wow.
A job that's when I applied for a job.
That's deep.
That was since 2010.
Well, from 2019, I had only worked from 2017. I had not worked another day of my life from there. So I only worked, no, straight. I did put in a few little work. I had like a roofer job, shit like that, you know what I mean? But
That's
yeah,
why I say
man.
I did a couple things like,
Yeah.
but actually
But like,
applying for a
I'm just
job
trying to
and
express
fill out
the
an
vow,
application.
the vow to yourself of never working again.
No, never.
I just wanted to express and add on to your build as far as the vow. It's like, I have these licenses.
Yeah.
I can go get a job.
You can work for
Am
yourself.
I
too,
vowing
though.
not to work?
You can work for yourself with a CDL.
I don't have no plans on working.
Yeah,
You hear me?
Yeah.
And that's the thing now. Knowing that the woman is empowered, right? Like, yeah, there's a need for drivers. That's why I had got the CDL license. I could easily go make a couple bands going over the road. But what is the money for?
Exactly. What do I need the money for?
That's what I want to
The problem,
know.
I can get the money is what to do with the money when I get it. That's been my
Nah,
problem
nah,
since I've been
nah,
knowing that I can make money. It's like what do I want to do with the money?
Now I can add on to the land, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about that, right now, the thing about this is what I gotta break down the notation a little more deeper. Everything in life comes from the earth. So even if I said I want a shed, well, I got some trees out there, or I got some old wood, basically from the old beds that I had, that I'm considering reusing, cutting and shaving or something like that, right? So these are the things that we gotta have in notation. All right, but I could say, well, I'm gonna go hit the road and make a couple beds, go get me a shed to put all my shit in for what? For the
Apothecary.
season, yeah.
Apothecary is growing herbs and vegetables, or it's basically apothecary is like they say in the medieval times. Apothecary is like a pharmaceutical or health practitioner, but it's like apothecary is where you grow, you know, herbs.
Mm-hmm.
and you provide it to others. You know what I'm saying? And make a living off of helping people like with headaches or pain relief.
Wow, God,
It's called apothecary. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I was looking into.
Wow, salute to you, God. Apothecary.
Yeah, that's something that I was looking into.
Wow, God, wow, you just touched my soul with that, with my soul child again, right? Yeah, apothecary, that's beautiful. Just knowing that that's what we getting back to, just the herbs and the natural healing.
And I was thinking about adding to that, like apothecary myself, as far as with a non-profit organization.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of people that need healing.
Peace,
Then,
God.
you know, not only that, you know, like I said, a service for a service, but, you know, with the non-profit, that's how I learned from reading, you know, about business. That's how the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. Because, you know, a lot of tax write-offs come behind, you know.
The thing about nonprofit,
Yeah.
and my cousin was mentioning that to me, I knew I heard him close, is that, you know, you have to deal with the numbers eventually. You're going to deal with the money that you're receiving, you know, and the tax write-offs, and et cetera. And with that, we already are tied in, locked into this tax system already. And with business, we dig ourselves deeper. We may dig ourselves deeper in debt, or just go deeper into the system, into the matrix, right? Up the ladder of success to Satan's door, right? And we know the woman is already up there.
Wait, no. It's called, she called actually, they call her,
What I mean is that she's the most powerful. We had the 1900s or whatever.
not only do they call her the woman, they call her a Jezebel.
She is the millennium, right? She is that. She represents
If
that.
she ain't for the righteousness, she a Jezebel spirit that uses glamour and, you know, and fortune and fame to get.
She gonna make way.
Yeah, but
And I mean,
it's
you
how
know,
you use it. You know what I'm saying? Or how
it's how they portray her.
Yeah.
I'm not calling her nothing other than the goddess. You hear me?
Okay.
That's what the G gonna be on. You hear me? Because I gotta continue to raise their vibrations. I need to let them know, yeah, the one you're working for consider you as Jezebel.
True.
The one you're working for consider you as a prostitute.
True.
You know, because you're not with your own kind.
True.
You're not at home with your God, with
Exactly.
your man.
Exactly. They putting 8 hours in with him, or 10 hours or 12 hours with
So,
him.
so with that,
Yeah.
he already know, you know, the adjustments he has to make, right, to come up with those indecent proposals. You see what I'm saying? Indecent proposals.
He
right?
got competition.
Mhm.
That's why I say
Because he wants his firm and his corporation or organization, his business.
for fortune and fame.
There you go. And there, you know, and there we realize that throughout all these trades, anywhere that there is a name tag, a business, right, a trade, that we as the people, blacks, browns, tans, right, orange, etc. But let's just stick to the blacks and browns. We are now
The most haunted.
the managers.
Oh,
Look,
the
look.
most haunted on the planet.
Yeah, but look, no, to their trades. Remember, their trades.
And they trade.
Everywhere that you have to wear a name tag. I'm saying anywhere you have to wear a name tag is a trade. That's coming from the elites, right? Now, mostly it's our young generation out there now. From, what is that? 16 and up now? 15, 16 up, right? So now they're out there with the name tags. They're working, bagging up, whatever they're doing. Fast food restaurants, etc.
I mean, it started any other way. You just have to go about it like how most gangs started. Do it under the table and just go for it. That's what I was thinking without the nonprofit organization. Just start something and just don't tell nobody. In the same way, like when you pass on, don't nobody have to know except your select few. You ain't got to put it on their record that you passed on. I want, you know, you can pass on and be buried where you want to be buried. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's up to you and your select few who would know. You ain't got to put in the newspaper and tell everybody this brother passed on and this and that. let it be what it is. Like some people done vanished and we don't know where they at.
Well, that's the thing about their business. Their business is based on death, so they want to. That's why #1 businesses was barbershops, right? Go get your hair cut and you get your suit, right? Dress your ass up and give you your last haircut and send you to the maker, right? That's what it was all about for the black man. So that's why they allowed those businesses. That's why you have #1 barbers. You know what I'm saying? And motherfucker might shine your shoes up, right? Get you on, cause it's the wild, wild west out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know but it's all business. But this is all business from the womb. Cause if you had entered the hospital, you entered the realm of business. So no mother.
We born into this.
Yeah, so no mother was supposed to enter no hospital realm.
True. That was rule #1.
That's #1 trade.
Depending on going outside of the house for anything. For
So that's
help.
the #1 trade. Everyone that is under the badge, the badge of the snake, the Red Cross. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's under the medical badge, right? They are what? They are working with the elites. And they are constantly promoting pharmaceuticals, right? Things that are not of the pot.
Yeah, the herb.
The pot, what we call it?
Apothecary.
Apothecary.
Yes.
They're not apothecary.
No.
The hospitals is not the representation of apothecary.
You basically like a Dr. Sebi, you know what I'm saying?
Dr. Sebi.
Sebi, you know what I'm saying? That they don't want ever to exist in
They
life.
don't never want any of these.
No, they don't.
Dr. Africa.
No,
any
they
of them,
they like, man, you're a threat. Just like the one guy, you know, who put out the TV without no electric cord. He turned on the TV now. They looking for him because
he did what?
A brother created a TV that you can turn on without it being into a socket or a battery or anything. You just go up straight.
And they ain't got the pad.
They ain't got the pad, so they looking for him.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
He say he go, but look for. I mean,
I'll pray for
yeah,
it.
pray. Yeah, look, you know. I shouldn't brought him up and bring out no memories to this guy, but he.
He just gotta know. He gotta know his purpose was that. And that's what he gonna go for. Just like I know.
No, they know they looking for him.
When I say he dead, it's just like I say I'm dead. I've been dead. I'm dead too. So let me.
That's why I say it's my last day. It's my last day.
Listen, in the university, let me say I've been dead and I am dead. Right.
The day of my birth.
And that's what living is all about, right? Knowing you dead, right? Yeah, cause you standing on shit.
The day I was
so
born, I was,
you know his creation. To know that he stood on some shit and he exposed some shit, you know, he did, you know, they gonna kill him one day about that shit. You know, it just is what it is.
That ain't funny, but that's,
looking for it.
I understand what you're saying.
Tonight,
just me being here in my mind.
We gonna light the next candle about him though, you know, for him, you know. Yeah,
our presence
already
is leading to death anyway. This
you already
is
know.
over with.
Yeah, you already know. God. Salute to it. Salute to death. You know, peace, God. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because
That's
the whole, you know, a lie could live, you know, they keep a lie going forever, but the truth, they gonna shut, you know, they gonna crucify him, persecute him, and everything else. The truth. They don't want to hear it. A lot of people don't. You try to tell the truth to some people, they gonna tell you.
That's real.
They gonna shut you up, man. You talking the truth, man.
That's real. So you know, that's what it is. You know, all those trades, God, all those trades. You know, and they got our children, and so we, as the fathers, God, like, you know, like letting our children prostitute. You know, it's like as soon as they hit now they got the net. So as soon as they, you know what I mean, it's like preparation.
I mean, we're in the belly of the beast. And the beast got 3 stomachs.
If your child bring in more, I got my daughter make more money than me because I don't work and I don't hustle.
I mean,
So So understand the times we are in, right?
Yeah.
When a child bringing more money home than what? The father, right? So now the oppression that goes on to keep the father hustling or on the grind, right? No. I'm just saying, right? That's just what it is, right? Now, the father, the king, he's already royal. He comes from a royal line. You see what I'm saying? A royal line of what? Mothers, grandmothers, greatness, right? All right, so I'm just gonna give you this, right? So now even me, like this home, once again, my mother, my brother, you know what I'm saying? Royal, right? If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a place, okay? And now this is the foundation for all, you know, because I understand that, you know? I understand that. So now I'm understanding the journey to raise the vibrations to the feminine deities that's here. Letting them know that they're not bitches, they're not hoes, they're not prostitutes, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that they are actually, you know, in a position to sell all the way out. You get what I'm saying? And
everybody can't be the chief, man.
No,
so I'm just saying, as far as you're gonna have some Indian, obviously you qualify. So my advice to you is,
I know that the women. No, listen. I know that what I'm saying about the women is that all the women's the chiefs. Period.
No, they the Indians. If they listening to you and you got to be the forefront,
no, they can't listen.
They will be eventually when you pass on.
What I don't want them to do is not. All right, we all have a point of listening. Okay. So, all right, so the word listening, once again, with these words, we got to be careful because it spells. So, you know, once again, at university, we got to always mention that words are spelled. We're always conscious about it. So, and like, we have been conversating, right? And we listening to each other, right? And that's the thing, right? So that's what we just conversating with the feminine deities. You know, we don't want them to actually, like, all right, listening to, all right, you hear me? But we here as that guide. So we're here to have builds. We're here to express our passion, share our knowledge, right? Our intellect, our spirits, because we love them. You know what I'm saying? But they have their own choice and will, right? Because they give it to us. And that's what we do. We giving it back. Because remember, whatever that the Lord gives you, you got to multiply. So we are multiplying what has been given to us in this life, and we are giving it back to the Lord right now. And that's what we as the children have to do. And I'm doing it. It's just like, hey, you know, I'm just here. I'm still a child. I'm still a child showing my infinity, my infinite.
Hey, God.
Peace, God.
Is there more cake?
Oh, cake. Looking at oven. What kind of cake is it? You gotta make that be known in the university.
Chocolate.
What kind though? Is it vegan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. you gotta let that be known. Cause you was like, cake? Oh, you get your hand. And let me get the tea. Cause we boil that tea out.
I love chocolate everywhere now.
Goofy. Yeah, that feminine deity, that feminine power. you up to? You strolling? You strolling? You want some music? You want the music? You want some music? Ride your car and listen to some music? Yeah, that feminine energy, making sure that we continue to raise the vibrations. You know, and that, you know, and once one and that's the, you know, the sacrifice, you know, of the world, right? When to not be of the world, the pleasures of the world, where some feel as if you shouldn't have, like, you know, have a desire, you know, because you should fulfill all your desires, so you should have one, right? That's how some feel, you know, meaning if you want to eat this, eat it. If you want to do this, do it, right? However, you know, we sacrifice the ways of the world. That's our way of showing her how much we love her. That's our sacrifice through the way.
Okay, through the way, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
The way would be obedience. And then, you know,
Peace.
being obedient to
But
the
she-
way, being
But
obedient
we
to the
did
way.
that too, like you talking about like getting a job, shit like that. Cause that
I'm
to
talking
the
about
woman,
to the way.
to the
Like,
way. Oh yeah, to the way for
that-
sure.
to the-
I'm just
the
thinking of the
original way.
feminine
I'm thinking being a-
deity and powers. You hear me?
Yeah,
In this journey.
yeah. Like I mean,
To sacrifice the ways of the world. Because if the feminine powers and deities are what's controlling, and we already know all the way down to the ORISHAS, and if the ORISHAS are controlling and the women that are connected with their ORISHAS are controlling and connected, right? They're running this, all right? At a whole nother degree, right? Now, they may not have reached the total power to conquer from the true enemy, right? But they are in enough power and position to. And now, some may be conscious, unconscious, spiritual, not spiritual, just keeping a balance. Because we have people out here, all over.
I would like to think so.
North, east, west, south, right?
I would like to think so.
Asiatic, you know what I mean? You know, all around the board, you feel me?
I would like to think
Indians,
so. Exactly.
Arabics,
I would like to think so.
Mexicans,
European
Puerto Rico,
beings.
you know, all of these, right? So all of the beings, all the supreme beings, right?
People.
Peoples, right? And they have these pieces to the puzzle. They have these jewels, the confirmations. You know?
So I say, who's, you know, like when we talk about those that's out here making money or whatever, you know, they was, you know, some people say you in that person's bed now, you know, y'all, you know, in so many words like y'all married, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, I know
You
what you're
feel
talking
me?
about, that term, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Turn
you
to
in
be
bed
healers.
with this brother, you in bed with this sister now that y'all made this contract or this agreement or so that's where I come at, you know, with the thought that obedience, and you can find the word bed even in the word obedience. You know what I'm saying? Because
Being in the bed with the goddess,
you feel me? Like when you in obedience,
with the Lord.
you did. I mean, you get draw closer to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But when you just, you know, making sacrifices, I mean, that's one thing. But then you got obedience because the Lord might say, "Don't go that way." You be like, "I'm gonna sacrifice the situation and go this way anyway, or go that way."
You obeying the deity and the saints.
Even in a sacrifice, you know, be a sacrifice in obedience. Don't just be a sacrifice in your own will, you know, so to speak. Now you going off with, you know, obedience from like the way, the original way, which is to sustain life. It's like being disciplined and sticking to that script. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be obedient to something. You got to follow some type of discipline. And instead of just being prepared to make a sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? I just would say I will prepare them to be obedient by directing their path. You know what I'm
Peace,
saying?
God. Being obedient and
Yeah.
directing the path.
Reward while rewarding and punishing them along the way. Reward them when they.
I gotta keep the sacrifice, God, right? Because knowing that them as the Lord, they are already the position to be. They already sacrificed already, right?
It's by
Meaning-
choice. Everything is by choice.
Meaning in the term, right? All right. So let's say this, right? If you in the lion's den, you in the lion's den, right? Right? If you in the devil's house, you in the devil's house, right? You're in most position to get sacrificed, right? All right. I don't wake up and go to work to see the white, you know what I mean? To see that way of the world, and whoever's running the world in any trade, right?
By choice now.
By
Because
choice.
you're aware, because the light came on. In the same way, if the light come on into that woman's mind or thought that she in the lion's den, would she want to stay in the lion's den? If she actually see where she at? A lot of them in my mind is just like, we were blind to where we was at. And we thought, like a lot of women in even, you know, my baby, she feel like she has to work. And I'm like, you don't have to.
That's a feeling. That's a feeling of a fear, feeling of. It's not a love feeling, you know. And that's what I want the goddesses to know. That's not love. When you fear, you're gonna lose it.
They look at us like, because they done our opposition, and we in competition with the workforce. When it comes to service, and those put in, like, you know, you don't know that putting in a service is more powerful than working. You know what I'm saying? Cause
let me run back to 2019 before I continue the reason why I consider myself, you know, just alternatively being a sacrifice now, right? And the masculine, you know, the man, the God, the God, right? In 2000 and through the pandemic, 2020, right? We all experienced, you know what I mean, the sacrifice, right? Everyone, you know, everyone had to, you know what I mean, it was over with. Everybody was flat, in-house.
I understand.
The only one that went out there was pretty much the woman. You hear me? She was the only one. Like, so you gotta understand, like, everybody on the financial side, you know, was stuck in their own situations, masculine powers, feminine powers, right? However, the feminine powers that was in the medical field, once again, that's in the bed, right? The obedience one, right? They're in the bed. They was able to come out, and those that worked at the Walmarts, things like that, right? And so they was out there. And I sacrificed, once again, because it was COVID, right? And so the Lord, once again, went out there and saved the world. We gotta give them praise and acknowledgement. All right. Now, that's why in return we have to continue to be sacrificed. Yeah, obedience in the discipline and receiving what we gotta receive esoterically to give them. This is what we have to give them, this esoteric knowledge. So we have to be in obedience in our ways in order to even get it out of us. You know what I'm saying? So that's why sacrificing first with your way of life. Yeah, we know who you are. You ain't gonna change. You're gonna be who you're gonna be. I'm Phillip. I'm gonna be Phillip for the rest of my life, right? But I could change my ways of living, right? My ways of thinking, my way of dwelling, right? So I can change the way what I'm putting in myself, right? Because if I change the way what I'm putting in myself, it's gonna change what's coming out of me. Because if what's coming out of me haven't changed nothing around me or me, then I need to change what I'm putting in myself, right? And so I constantly put in knowledge of self, and that's what comes out, right? And we constantly put more esoteric information in, and that's what comes out. You know what I mean? More of the spirit in, and that's what comes out. So that's the sacrifice that we show the feminine deities that's here, the feminine powers that's here, that's in power and control, and that seen us when we was in power, sacrificing them. They seen us when we was in power, whether it was through the workforce, the U.S. steels, you know, whether it was us through the drug era, whatever the era it was that we was in power and control, we sold the black woman out, the women out, and we treated them like shit. And that's just what it is. I played my part in it, and I'm putting my work back in, right? Because I gotta show them the faith, the loyalty, right? That's the loyalty that we show, right? Yeah, that's the love we show. You can't love every one of them, right? You can't the sex ain't doing it, right? So remember, it ain't the sex, you feel me? So that sacrifice, you gotta even sacrifice the sex, you know, so you can't be in a universe sexing, right? Because the sex is already, we making a baby, like you spoke. So it ain't the sex, it's no homo, it's no, right? So understanding also, right, we showing them that sacrifice. Because you gotta understand now the whole world is homosexuals as well. So that's how strong that a God stands. When you a G-O-D and you stand, you strong, you hear me? Yeah, because you stick out amongst a whole world of fallen angels, fallen gods and goddesses, down to men and women, and, you know, and lower, right? But now let me just break down the sacrifice, God, that you gotta continue to take from what you put in yourself, which is, you know.
I just want to add to what you. I just want to compliment what you're saying by saying a sacrifice for a sacrifice.
Yeah, God, like
like what you saying. We sacrifice.
I'm gonna be obedient, but to an extent to where I see it, I can't be the sheep. You know follow you over the hill. Like, no, I can't do that no more. I can't follow you to church no more. I just ain't doing that. You know what I mean? They already burnt me.
I was thinking like
church already burnt me. The mosque already burnt me.
Sacrifice our so-called security for their needed
done.
Security.
That's done. We deaf. We deaf with this shit. We dead today, nigga. What the fuck?
That's what I'm trying to say.
talking about?
I understand.
We
that,
already did that. We doing
That's
it.
why I said so-called security for their needed security. And sacrifice ourselves for their needed security. I'm saying sacrifice our so-called security.
Peace, God.
The sex.
Peace, God.
The money.
Peace,
drugs, or whatever.
Peace, God.
Or attention or whatever.
Peace,
what we
God.
thought we needed that to continue. We sacrifice that and get them. Sacrifice that. Our so.
God, I'm gonna tell you this right here.
Yeah.
It's so ill, God. Because this is one of the illest bills, right, God? You know what I'm saying? I honor you. I appreciate you for this bill, right, on your day. You hear me? God, every day, God, that they hear real bills like this, God, you'll see offerings, God, programs off the blue. Like, God, like, all right, let me give you an example. 37 universities offered a young African, you know what I mean? I don't know if he was an African American, but you know what I mean? Young African man, young man, like 4 million scholarship. And he got out of like 27, 37 universities to choose from. That's because we doing this, God. So they giving out 4 million for that, for the kids to pay attention to that.
That's why I said a service for a service. If we provide the service of securing them, what we supposed to do anyway.
God, you heard what I just said, 4 million?
Being who we are, we worth more than gold.
But
I'm
God,
gonna just say you worth more than gold.
God,
there's no amount of money.
Let me just give you the examples, God. I'm just
that's
trying to give you what's going on.
I already know you worth more than gold.
I'm just trying to tell you what's going on, what they doing with the universities after this bill, because we having a specific bill right now. Okay, so after this bill, God, we're gonna be a confirmation that they're gonna offer the women some more money about something, God, and it's just the way that it is.
Competition. That's why I said.
Yeah. But remember, they was like mind over matter.
Yes.
It's like mind over money right now. That's what we gotta really install into the black woman.
That's the
like
matter.
Mind over
The
mind
money
over
is
the
the
money
matter.
right now.
The money is the matter.
Yeah, mind over the money right now, because the money is for the taking, and you can get it. You know, the PPPs, all this shit. But don't let them blind you. Don't let them take that third eye away from you and what they trying to do to you. You know what I'm saying? Get the money. You got to get the money. Do what you got to do. Structure the family for the foundation, for the university, to get all the black men on their knowledge
bump
and get
the
on
house.
get them on their spirit. Yeah.
What about bump the house, the big house?
Yeah.
Come back to the home where there's love at.
That's real.
Come back home. The house ain't nothing without without a true home. What's a home? You know what I'm saying? Where you got security. You depending on somebody outside your house to secure you when you got
But you
somebody
know,
inside.
but you know, anytime you got a grandma, you really got a village, though, God. So you know what I'm saying? Because you got, you know what I mean? You got a village. So when grandmas exist, like homes, they shouldn't even exist. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that's a division because you divide yourself from true wisdom. You know what I mean, God? And then people be offset, off balance, don't want to take care of the elder. You know what I'm saying? And then it gets sad, God. And then
Man,
you know
sad.
because we all chasing a bag. You know.
They don't even care for no knowledge when they got their face, when they got money in their face. They like, I don't even care what you learned. This right here looks good. I got some people tell me, quit telling me what you learned, man. I gotta find this job, man. I'm looking for a job.
And then you gotta understand the mind state. If someone is left with an elder as responsible and knowing the village as everyone else may be weak, and if they become weak and give up, you giving up on you know what I mean? Like that life is in your hand. You know what I'm saying? You give up type shit. You feel me? By whether it's the way you treat them, the way you feed them, taking care of them, however it is, you know. So that's the villages narrowing down to one warrior. Like, you know what I'm saying? The villages is narrowing down to one warrior to tend for the wisdom that was supposed to be never divided, never been left alone. You hear what I'm saying? Like, and so then we deal with the bodies, we deal with the funerals, and it's saddening and saddening and saddening and saddening. And so the enemy did a big one, you know, the enemy did a big one this time, and because that's what he struck. He struck the elders, he struck wisdom, he struck knowledge, you know, and now we left to understand that it's a war, it's been a war. If y'all didn't hear Trump when he spoke it to the children, when he was speaking to the children about, he was saluting the children about how great of a job they was doing, about how, you know, just hang in there, you know, as far as, you know, school. I know they want to get back to school or whatnot, but, you know, hang in there, right? That was back then, you know. He pretty much spoke of it as like it was a war, like, you know what I mean? And we have to know it is biological. It's so many different spell words you want to name it. What I want to make sure that on this outer, and let's just even say the inner, because Hades is also the inner plate, right? The first crust of the earth, right? So I even want to say the inner world as well as the outer world, the war on Hades.
Lord, I'm with you when it comes to health equal wealth. You know what I'm saying? If we work on from the inside out, like from the AGARTHA inner world to the outer world,
Peace, God.
we got to pay attention to the earth. Like I said, apothecary, we got that introduce us to the understanding that we need to get back into the herbs, the spices and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying, that can make also oils and anything else we need to sustain our
like back in the joint, ain't it, God?
Yeah, we got to sustain
God, back in the joint, God, so much talent in there.
And on the inside is mad talent from arts. It's really art. Even apothecary is an art. When you learn how to heal somebody,
Peace, God.
You know what I'm saying, and use combination of different herbs, that's an art. That's not just a skill. That's like, it becomes a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? Bringing P-E-A-C-E, not just P-I-E-C-E, but P-E-A-C-E.
Real one.
And, you know, we the masters of that piece. Claim that. I mean, I'm claiming master victory. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
I'm claiming it. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like I said, you know, I'm looking to getting off into a greenhouse. Or like I said, I wanted to speak to you about that. You know what I'm saying? A greenhouse, and, you know, and not just have one greenhouse. As many greenhouses everywhere, wherever, you know, like, as we can afford or manage, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Because I'd rather not go to a store. I'd rather come to you and get my, you know, if I don't have already some, you know, fresh produce, I would rather come to you for fresh produce.
That's definitely the total objective. Objective is to make sure that we are able to tend to each other and making sure, like when you say you have this ideal and this is what you want to do, you want to move forward on this,
And that's what we do. We make sure that because when we move forward, it don't matter where we move forward at or if
I ain't gotta be here. You can be here. I can be there.
Right.
But
So
here and there is still
it gives us experience.
We need it.
So that gives us more experience to what?
I
To
support
do the
it.
second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, right? And so knowing how to what? Get back to the land, refertilizing the land. Like God, for instance, like, you know, it's so it's this discipline, you know, and once you know the will, her will, right? The fluid, having that energy, that power, you know, just to do it, right? And that's the thing
like
about
a made up mind.
planting that seed. Like I'm gonna plant that seed, right?
Man.
Now things going to waste is the thing. Nothing should go to waste.
Man, I like you have a decompose at the same time. You got the greenhouse we can build a decompose and we ain't gotta let nothing go to
There
waste.
you go. Right. Decompose. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing. Nothing should ever go to waste. There should be no garbage. We shouldn't be paying for garbage. Water, electric, none of that. Yeah, G. So you know, I'm still working on getting to those stages, you know. And so when we're in the university, and you know, we go around the globe, and we are educating ourselves and just you know bringing the information to the light again, you know. That's it. So it can all be you know restudied, you know.
Exactly.
And we working our way back to just getting off the grid, God.
Right.
You know, it's sad that we gotta always say Amish. You know, and even if it has some Indian essence in it, right? That's the way of living. Getting off this grid, God. Like, that's the stages. So it's like, you know, this. Yeah, you stop this in life. You know, you could say, well, you stop doing negative things. You stop committing crime, right? You stop eating meat. Like, all right, woo, you know what I mean? Woo, right? Let you see, stop paying for water. You know, because I said I stopped hustling, I stopped working.
Start paying rent.
Yeah, no, well.
I'm just saying, though,
yeah.
like paying the taxes on some
No,
property or
I'm
something.
saying stop.
Get your own land and be self-sufficient.
No, I'm saying stop right now.
Just stop it.
I'm saying as far as landowners, right?
True.
You know, and that's for those that already own land.
Not just man,
That's
protect
it.
private property, man.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. They were saying it about, well, this was a couple of years before the coronavirus or whatever.
Yeah.
But an acre of land was about $6,000, close to $6,000
That's
just for
what's up.
1 acre. I mean, but you know, an acre is bigger than almost a football field.
Yeah.
So I don't need that much land.
Right.
You feel? But I could use it as much as I'm qualified to manage. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a thought in my head that I went as far as even to look up how much do it cost.
Right.
And I learned that there's islands also for sale, but you know, I got a record so heavy, it'd probably be hard to leave right now.
Right.
But that would be probably the only way I get even on the plane.
So back to that, right? So it's like why pay for? I mean, well, not why. Excuse me. And two, in this journey, and as I speak personally on my journey, I may have done away with these things, right? And I may reach certain points in the realm. However, there's still more to it. So until I know personally, like, I own my land, but I stopped. I'm in a tax situation right now, right? And the goddess is gonna pay for it, right? And so I'm not paying for it, the goddess is, but I am too, I guess, you know, because I'm allowing the goddess to do it, right? And so with that,
I mean,
it's gonna be a long way until I pay again, right? That's just knowing that I may not never pay again, right? Because I ain't paying this time, right? The goddess is. So with that, I'm working on that because that's just in me. Because I don't feel I should have to pay no taxes if it's already owed, if it's already paid, right? It's all paid off, right? House is paid off. So I shouldn't feel like I owe no back taxes.
It's called proclaiming your own land back. There's some type of act going on, like for people that, you know, like before somebody else owned their land, they once owned the land, and then so they, you know, sold it or rent, but it's really inherited to you or something like. You can actually proclaim that land back. There's a procedure you can go through to actually get your land back. If, like, say, for instance, like by us being, some people claiming like we from here and from there and wherever, you can actually, there's a way to proclaim your land back. It's a procedure you go through. It's a court. It's a particular court you go through to get your land back, and you go through a little paperwork. But it's, like I said, a little paperwork, because it also, you know, you got. It's not a big decision that needs to be made once you can prove that's was your land.
Right.
If you can prove that was your land, you can get it back. And then, like in some people's cases, you know, they was only entitled to own that land for a certain period of time until you actually became conscious that it was on your land. You can just not know they was on your land, but there's like a certain part of the year or a certain, you know, where everybody can. Yeah, I looked into this stuff. This is when I was looking into like the Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? And how, you know, Hebrews once owned land, and then, you know, because of a war became children of the captive or captivated. Them some people like Israel. That's how the Jews got so-called claimed whole Israel now, because they said this was my land. So they gave it back to them. In the same way they did it, we could do it. That's what I'm saying. It's just a procedure, and it's something that I looked into, and I just stopped looking into it because I didn't want to deal with them people's pig, like asking, can I get my land back? I'm thinking like, that's still too much juice for me to, you know, to have for me to be coming to them asking, can I have my land back?
That's war.
Yeah, but that's the spoils of war. You know,
That's war.
Spoils of war, yeah. I mean, that if you understand where you at in your position, then you can make your move from there. That's all I'm saying. Once you know who you is, where you belong, and where you at, you can make, you know, and learn the rules like how we learn chess. But we can't make no moves until we learn the moving pieces.
Yeah. True.
Even how to put the board supposed to be set up. You still can't, you know, play the game properly until you learn the rules. But there are rules that we should be looking into, not only just land, but we got cyber wars going on now. You know what I'm saying? With the technology, we got to be prepared for, because we got interceptors of information.
But the thing about that is there shouldn't be no business to worry about no cyber war.
I mean, when you depend on technology, you become part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Not the solution.
No, I'm just saying we shouldn't be.
I mean, but yeah, we shouldn't. But how many of us depending on the technology?
But that's the mindset.
Yeah, we can. We don't have. We can wait till I see you. You know, and I don't even need a phone. If your door stay open for me, I won't have to call you and tell you I'm on the way. I can just show up.
That's what it's gonna have to be.
I mean, that's how I'm looking at it too. I mean,
That's how it always been with me.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't really expecting too many people that I know either to call me before they come either. I expect them to just show up. It's like the enemy. If you gonna come get me, come get me. But if you love me, you should do the same. You know what I'm saying? Break bread with me too.
That's true. That's real. Real.
Just show up. Showing up is the hardest part. After that, we gonna build, man, and destroy some bull crap.
That's real.
But and that's exactly what I'm motivated to do too. Put the phones, like throw them in the trash. Don't even touch them no ever again in life. I'd rather not. It ain't like something that I was born into. I seen it come into existence. So
Right. That
it ain't something that I really needed.
That's
I don't
true,
feel
man.
like I need it.
I'm glad you said that. I'm born into it. 'Cause, you know, we still had a baby in itself. I mean,
Yeah, we not born into it. We had, like I said, pay phones, and that ain't something I wasn't born into this era where I feel like I need a phone or a tablet, a computer, a flash screen. None of this bullcrap.
not, I don't, like right now, understanding to get the information out of course right now, you know. So it's different, you know, using the beast, you know.
We in the belly of it, the beast got 3 of them. Got about 3 of them from my knowledge. 3 stomachs. And we in one of them right now, or 2 of them, or 3 of them too. Coming up out of there is just gonna be a grind, man. It's like you said, sacrifice that, you know, you will wanna be willing or understand that that's what you giving up being in the belly to get out the belly. Getting out the belly, you got to leave the sex alone with the multiple women, or you got to leave the money alone working for just anybody, from your homeboy to anybody. You got to give up the material gain, you know what I'm saying, what they call, you know, worth having or whatever. You got to sacrifice that for true security. And when a woman in my mind sees that, like what I'm, you know, I plan to offer a woman not only health through apothecary, show her that she can get her wants also when it comes to gratification. You know, that quick gratification don't necessarily has to come from somebody else's attention. Now outside the home, I can, you know, by me not spreading myself so thin no more, messing with the multiple women, I'm capable of giving you that gratification now.
Peace.
That's something that I've been working on within myself, because I noticed that I was spreading myself thin messing with the multiple women. Even though I kept it 100 telling them the truth that I'm gonna be messing with multiple women, that still didn't work for me. They still, one of them need that attention, not multiple women. Especially where we at. I can see if, you know, I'm able to qualify, I got that security and I got that health thing going on. But I ain't got none of that going on. I'm still depending on somebody else to feed me, be it the store or the company that's providing the store. Instead of my brother or my sister going into their green room and saying, let me, you know, purchase or get or exchange this, or I need this pepper, green pepper, or onion or something.
Your water's flowing.
All right, peace, God. Right. Through the ball. Yes, indeed, God. That's the transit. That's the transit of thoughts. Hey. It's hot stuff. Hot? You said it was hot.
Whoa.
salad? You already ate? Let's start a salad, son. You gotta eat. I'm built right now with the God. Okay? You gotta help me out. This time I need you, son. What's going on there, guy?
Starting to dump this out. To dump that out.
Saute some onions and green peppers. That'll make us. You guys still got taco wraps? Oh, yeah, we got sometimes taco. Make taco salad or something. All right. Good, real quick, Jason. I'm tripping. So you stop tripping like that. What you gonna eat? You eating that? On the floor. Yes, sir. In here too. Watch y'all on the floor or something. There. Floor, be left on the floor. Clean up. He told you that, Nani. Every day, girl. Steaming, God. Hold up. What's hot, God? Steaming. It's steaming, God. All right, so peace and love to the GBF University. We will continue. We are celebrating. We are building. We are taking it up a notch. We're gonna end this with the greatest intent as we began it. We were in it, for the ending is the beginning is the ending.
Ain't no tomorrow.
Peace and love.